It hasn't been a great few weeks for J.K. Rowling, or the Harry Potter brand. From a mass-murdering dictator publicly aligning himself with her politics, to the internet finding out more and more details about the game where you're forced to foil the plot of the anti-Semitic trope goblins and repress the slave elves, things aren't very rainbow rhythms right now in the wizarding world. But I don't want to talk about either of those things. No, instead I want to shine a light on the other Harry Potter disaster that's currently unfolding, the promotional campaign for the new Fantastic Beasts film. And I'm not even talking about how their newest star is currently having a bit of a personal crisis too. All I want to show you today is a featurette they dropped to promote this film a few weeks back, which I find oddly fascinating. It's called Dumbledore's First Army, and features cast members and creatives drumming up some hype for the film, or trying to, by comparing the events of this new picture to well-known events from the original stories. Specifically, it's framing the heroes of this new film as the original versions of, well, Dumbledore's army, but the way this comparison is made is really funny to me. Here's the clip.
Like Dumbledore's army in the Harry Potter films, Harry, Ron, Hermione, Neville, Dean, but now Newt, Lally, Bunty, Karma, Theseus, and Jacob.
Despite having seen both Fantastic Beasts films years ago, I had to look up most of these names, because I really didn't recognize many of them. Newt, sure. Jacob, too. I remembered Theseus. He was a side character in the second Beasts film. I'm not sure that I'd exactly peg him as a potential fan favorite character, but hey, he was on screen for minutes. People have seen him before, some may even recognize him. In the context of this list, that's a big win. It's a similar story with Karma. He actually did things in film too. I don't remember what they were, but sure, he exists too. I'd completely forgotten that a character by the name of Bunty even existed in this world. My first thought was that we were getting some sort of Disenchantment crossover, but apparently, yeah, we have seen a Bunty. She was Newt's assistant and popped up for like a minute inside his Narnia suitcase. And Lally, well, she's pretty much a new character. She seems to have appeared for like a few seconds in number 2, talking to another minor character through an enchanted book in, I guess, the magical equivalent of those Batman v Superman email cameos. But she's pretty much a blank slate in any way that counts. So it's odd that the featurette is trumpeting the so-called return of some of these characters with such gusto, but maybe I'm the odd one out here. Maybe everyone else who watched this featurette just can't wait for Bunty and Lally to save the day. But the real kicker, the reason I'm making this video, listen again to the way this list is cut together. Listen to the audio compositing.
But now Newt, Lally, Bunty, Karma, Theseus, and Jacob.
When this producer fella was listing the members of the original Dumbledore's army, that was a buttery smooth take. No issues whatsoever. But now, someone's clearly just stitched together this specific list of characters from a bunch of different takes, and it's so obvious. It actually reflects the way this weird jumble of characters have been slapped together, so points for consistency, I guess. But why on earth would they do it this way? It doesn't sound good, so it must have been done out of necessity. The only reason I can think of is that when they were recording the promos for this film, they didn't yet know which characters would end up being the central points of focus in this new Dumbledore's army. And I think that's a more plausible explanation than it appears to be at first, because The Crimes of Grindelwald was a massive mess from an editing perspective. There was so much going on in that film, with such weird and disorienting pacing, and whenever you get a film like that, there tends to be a lot on the cutting room floor, and a lot of ideas changed late in the day. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if its sequel was more of the same in that regard, if entire characters and subplots were still being moved around, taken in and out of the cut when these promo clips were being filmed. They probably had this guy record even more names. Maybe only now, after the film's been finalized, do the producers know the specific makeup of this new Dumbledore's army, and so they recut the audio accordingly. Because given the lineup we have, there's plenty of other characters from these films who could have also been in the running. Nagini, who's now a person, remember, either one of Albus Dumbledore's brothers, that Tina lady, even McGonagall, who I think the second film established as already a teacher at this point, breaking canon, maybe? Or any number of other essentially new characters who'd popped up once or twice before in this franchise. There's probably an audio library somewhere with all of these names in them. Seriously, what other explanation is there for the weird way the promo's audio is cut together? On a wider level, this featurette and much of the film's marketing is pursuing a pretty cheap strategy, preying on the nostalgia and goodwill some viewers might still hold for this franchise, as a leftover from those halcyon days when you could buy a Harry Potter book without knowingly supporting a bigot. I think it speaks volumes about the mess of the Potter franchise in 2022 though, that this big rousing comparison to a past team formed of pre-existing beloved characters is cut together in such a sloppy way, because yeah, that's sort of the perfect metaphor for the way these films are just slapping together new plot points and characters. Look, I'm not going to be going to see The Secrets of Dumbledore, mainly because I don't want to financially support bigotry, and also because the last one completely detonated any interest I had in this franchise from an artistic point of view. So if any of you guys do, you'll have to come back and let me know if it's as much of a mess as it looks to be. But yeah, something tells me that by missing the heroic team-up of Newt, Theseus, Lally, Jacob, Karma, Lally, Bunty, Newt Grindelwald, and Lally, in their quest to, wait, let me check my notes, oh right, ensure that World War II happens, I won't actually be missing that much. But that's it from me, so as usual, thanks to all my patrons on screen now, and especially Ian Fifield. And if you're on the edge of your seat waiting for the blockbuster reappearance of everyone's favourite classic Harry Potter character Lally, then make sure you don't forget to cast like video Expecto Patronus down below with the like button. Click the like button, please.